Hi everybody and welcome to Devotions today. It's Monday and we're in the last week of November. Can you believe it? And it's the 25th of November today, and that means that there is 1 month to go till Christmas time. Well, you better put the Christmas cake in the oven because it needs to mature nicely. I'm sure many of us have enjoyed traveling. Those of us who've got children overseas, we like to go and see them. And when you go to another country, you've got to get used to all sorts of different things. I remember a long time ago, I went over to England to do some teaching to raise a little bit of money because there was something that I wanted to do. And they put me down in the southeast end of London, where the schools are rough and tough. And you can see why those Brits won the war. And it was quite an ordeal, quite different from any school that I'd been to or taught in my life. Well, when you go into a new country, you've got to learn to do all sorts of new things. You've got to learn how to drive in that country. You've got to learn the rules of the road. And maybe you've got to learn how to drive on the other side of the road. There's a new currency. You've got to learn the money. You've got to learn how to say a few things if there's a foreign language in order to be able to at least get some things understood. And then there are the laws of the country, which you have to become familiar with because some of them may be different. Well, you're entering into a strange place. But even though you go all over the world, you are still South African citizens. Now, when you become a Christian, you get a new citizenship. Because we're all born into this world, and we are citizens, in a way, of this world. But Paul, when he writes to the Philippians in chapter 3, verses 20 to 21, he says, our citizenship is in heaven. So even though we are citizens of South Africa, that will eventually come to an end, either by dying or some other way. But our citizenship in heaven, we belong in heaven, is eternal. And what's more, we know the king of this kingdom personally. Jesus said when he started preaching, the kingdom of God is here. And he meant, I am here. And I am the king of that kingdom. So how do you become a citizen of the kingdom of God? Well, Jesus was one day talking to Nicodemus, the Pharisee, and he said, no one can see or enter the kingdom of God unless he or she is born again. In other words, unless you come into a personal faith in Jesus and come into a relationship with God through him, you're not part of the kingdom. So to become a part of the kingdom of God means a new spiritual beginning and building a relationship and a friendship with God. Now that we are citizens of this new kingdom, Paul writes again in the second letter to the Corinthians in chapter 5 and verse 20, where he says, we are therefore Christ's ambassadors. Well, here in South Africa, we have the embassies of all countries in a way, and they will represent their country and their country's point of view on things. And we, as Christ's ambassadors, are representing Christ in this world. How do we do that? Well, the most important way of all, is that we show the same love that God has shown to us. It is by our love that people will know that we are Christians. And we will share that in word and in deed and take our opportunities to tell them about Jesus. Well, you're a citizen of heaven, and that is permanent. And you can go all over the world. And even though you travel to other countries, you don't need a visa to become a citizen of heaven. you can travel everywhere with Jesus, and in your life, with the ups and the downs, and with the good times and the difficult times, wonderful times and tough times. Jesus is your King. Well, go ahead and be good ambassadors for Christ through the love that you show in the coming week. May God bless you and go with you. Bye for now.